Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about something really cool, which is how we're going to build a brand new video conferencing site from scratch without any experience at all. Because today, I'm going to show you from my perspective, and I'm no system administrator or networking expert at all, how I'm going to read instructions found online to install open source software to help me create my own Zoom or Hangouts clone all in the span of 1 hour. So I hope you all enjoy, and let's get straight into it. So the way that I usually go about, sharing about information like this, and the reason why I do it is because I want to show you guys that there's many ways to solve a problem. If you do want to create your own, customized meeting app, there's a lot of ways to find information online on how to do this and how to implement it within a short amount of time. And again, in this case, we're going to try to do it within 1 hour. And the reason why we want to build this thing an example, right, for specifics, is because in the community, we've always wanted our own customized meeting app that we can control. And of course, we also want an affordable subscription for our meeting apps, and we don't end up paying, excess of hundreds of dollars for our thousands of members around the world. So what happened is a few years ago, actually a year and a half ago, we picked up this tool called Jitsi, and Jitsi served us really well for the past year, but then they had a lot of upgrade sits, right? It started off as a very technical product, and now it's really simplified itself to become more and more easy. And for the first time, I'm also going to be exploring with you today live how I'm going to go through their installation process and see exactly how installation is right now. And based on what I've seen so far, it's pretty easy. So hopefully you guys can follow along as well if you guys are very interested. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be installing Jitsi Meet, which is open source software. Jitsi Meet, I can just open it up and show you what that is. This is their GitHub, which is their code repository. Again, it's very robust. They've built it for many years now, and has many contributors as well. We're also using a hosting platform called Digitalocean. Digitalocean is similar to, if you guys know, Amazon Web Services or any other hosting site out there, Google Cloud as well. Digitalocean is just generally a bit more cheaper, in my opinion. And in this case, they have a really cool thing called Marketplace, which, let me show you. The Marketplace has a lot of apps that you can just install and immediately run. So they make sure all the prerequisites are there for you. They make sure everything is ready. It's one click. So it's quite nice. So I like using DigitalOcean. If you do want to follow along, by the way, I do have a link which will give you, I think, $100 free credit, again, just for you to try, which will, in this specific case, will basically give you around, 20 months of free Jitsi, because every single month will take you $5 a month from this hosting platform. We'll also be using Cloudflare, which is a DNS management. Basically, it just helps us manage our IP addresses, manages our websites, make sure that when we type in something in the website URL, it'll actually redirect us to the proper website that we want to go to. In this case, our Jitsi instance. Also, just to let you know why we're choosing Jitsi over any of the other tools, it's giving us support of all current browsers. We have people that connect to us through, their phone or connect to us through their computer. It also has a mobile application. We have, HD audio and video, content sharing, encryption, raise hands reactions, private conversations, just a lot of stuff that will really make our app shine. And of course, we're going to try to customize it to fit our needs as well once we get into it and see what we can do with that. So I have these, very simple steps, honestly, and we're going to go through these steps and see how it goes. Again, I'm also going through these instructions the exact same time you are. So I hope that my exploration in doing this will give you the confidence and give you the ideas of how I look at instructions, what I read, what I focus on, and hopefully help you parse out any information that you find in the future as well, so you can explore and integrate as you will, because there's just so much cool stuff out there that you can take advantage of nowadays, and I want to show you exactly how you can use those tools in your life and improve your life in some way. So let's get straight into it. We're going to first go to the instructions I found on the marketplace for DigitalOcean. Again, they're saying that I want to run this image on a CPU optimized droplet. We're going to talk about it in a sec, with at least 4 gigabits of RAM or older. So the first, or sorry, higher, not older. And what they want us to do is they want us to create a droplet from the image available in the marketplace. So I might click on this. Let's see if what happens when I click on this. It should automatically create a droplet. It will get me to sign in and everything, but it should automatically create a droplet based on the information I need. Let's see if that loads well. It looks like it is loading. So let's go ahead and see. Perfect. So it's picking this one. That's correct. That's the latest version. You can double check that. 2.0.6726, the same version, which was released in December. Perfect. We're going to do a CPU optimized, and then they said 4 gigs. Okay, that's too much. I don't agree on that, actually. We don't probably need that. What we can do is basic, and then they're saying 4 gigs, right? So 4 gigs is their recommendation of RAM. So we can go ahead and choose RAM. We can also do regular as Intel SSD. But what we want to do is we want to get more RAM. So let's go $5 first. Actually, what we can do is we can go $5 first and then up it later, because later on we can do that. Yeah, any of these is too expensive, and I can guarantee that it can run on the $5 tier for sure. So let's try that, and then we'll up it later if we need to. I'm just trying to see where's the memory, because this is CPU. There's no memory. This could be memory, so 4 right here. So if we want to, we can go with the 4 gigabits as well to GPU. I think it's a bit overkill, honestly, but for this purposes, I will probably go with this version, the $10 a month, just because I know that we will have a lot of traffic inside our community for sure. And of course, we can just read sizes anytime. It's pretty easy. So let's go ahead and we're going to choose a data center. We're not going to choose Singapore, even though that's where I am, because where the most of the community is where I want to focus. I'm probably going to choose something like San Francisco or New York. I think San Francisco makes sense to me, because San Francisco will probably give us the best latency between Asia and also between anywhere in the US. So let's go ahead here. Default, we're going to use password. I think it says SSH key is better. I'm gonna double check here. It says something about SSH key. It's I think type passwords is fine. I think type password is fine here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a password again. This one you should just pick a really secure password. I'm going to just generate that from my password manager. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go into my Digitalocean, and then I'm going to go ahead here and then grab a new password. So I'm going to edit this, custom fields, hidden, and then we're going to make a new password. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and generate a new password. Copy that and paste it in. Does that work? Perfect. I'm going to save that first before I move on so I don't lose it. So Digitalocean, and then edit this, and then I'm going to add a new custom boolean or hidden, paste that in. Perfect. Okay, so I have that saved, so I'm sure that will be good. We don't need backups yet. We don't need monitoring. This is fine. And this is also fine. I don't think we need this. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think I need user. Okay, maybe there is. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Okay. This looks good. This is good. Perfect. So one droplet, and we're going to call this Jitsi server. So let's call this Jitsi server. Or we can call this meet Jitsi server just for additional information. Tags doesn't really matter. Let's create droplet. So let's see how this works. I think it will take only a little bit of time, and in that period of time, while it's loading here, you can see it's loading. You can see we previously already had a meet. It was using the 2 gigs 25 GB disk. Oh, okay, I'm already over provisioning in my opinion. Interesting. It should be fine. Again, a bit more information is fine. I'm actually going to open up the old one and see what spacing I used for it. Let's see, two. Let's see, volumes. I'm just very curious while it's loading. Okay, 2 GB memory, 25 disk. So I believe this was an old version. And the fun thing is I can actually use this to back up from there. So I can do that later as well. But no big deal. We have the sizing. Again, it's only $10 a month. So I don't think it's too bad comparatively to everything else that you could be using. And then what we want to do while we're waiting is we want to add a domain to our project. So what we want to do is add a domain. Again, you can follow this guide, but because this is something I do have no information on, I'm just going to do it. But this basically shows you how to add a domain from different places like this, create a new record and so on. Again, this is only if you're using them as hosting as well. I'm using Cloudflare. So what I can do is I can add a record, and I'm going to add meet. And then I'm going to add the IP address. So it's going to be a little second. Okay, there's the IP address. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that here. I believe I should not proxy it, but for now, let's just save this and we'll see what happens. So I have the content now. It's serving to that IP address, which just basically means whenever I type meet.x3.family in the browser, it should direct me to this site, which right now isn't up yet. So we're going to have to test that out. So now the next step is we want to access the console. And then what we want to do is, this is actually pretty easy. I want to show you how this works. I just opened this thing called Putty. So Putty is an app that you can install. It's just to essentially access any server that you have. And I'm going to paste this in the host name right here. And then we can just keep everything else the same. I'm going to go here, and I just want to show you, we want to accept to connect. And then basically it will show us here, it says login as. And I'm going to try to close this up a bit so you can see it better. So logins as, it's going to be root. And then your password is what the password you just had earlier that you typed in as the root password. So you just paste that in, and that should be good. We should be going in. Perfect. And now it's saying that we want to add this, we want to create a single script. We want to follow the instructions. We want to do the, where's the instructions? Let's see. Okay, here, bash complete jitsi setup.sh. So what we can do is we can actually probably copy this. Control C. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, so let's just type it out. Bash complete jitsi setup.sh. Okay, so let's make sure we typed it right. Bash complete Jitsi setup. Hi Jackie, good to see you. We're setting up the new meetings link for everyone in the community, so hopefully our meetings will go a lot smoother now. So bash complete Jitsi setup.sh, and then we go ahead. It's going to run all that stuff. Again, I'm going to try to make sure everything you can see. So do you want to continue? Actually, let me just make this a bit smaller so you guys can see this. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes. Let's go ahead. And then from here, actually, that should be super simple. We're just going to run all this. And then ideally, next time I go to meet.x3.family, I should be able to see everything. But throughout this process, I want to share with you, what it's actually doing behind the scenes, because we've done the manual process when we first installed Jitsi, a year or two ago, right? So at the time, we had to do a few things. You have to install the main instance, right? So let's see. Local version modified. A new version. Let's see. I want to show the differences between the versions. I'm not exactly certain about the differences. What's going on? Let's see. I think what we can do is we can install the package. Let's just keep the local version, whatever. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But anyway, what we had to do was we had to install not only the instance itself, but we also had to install the, it's called Nginx. I don't exactly know how to say it, but basically it helps you manage whenever a web query comes in from the web, like if someone pings, your IP or pings your domain address, how does that redirect to your actual instance and make sure everything loads properly? So there's a lot of things involved in there that are now basically managed here. Okay, the host name, there you go. So the host name of the current installation, this should be the host name. Yes. So I believe all we have to do is just type meet.x3.family. Oops, let's make sure I type that right. meet.x3.family. Okay, and then again, you don't have to put in the HTTP. That will be put in later, but I believe it's just meet.x3.family. So let's go ahead and press enter. And then we can just generate a new self-signed certificate. Let's do that. Self-signed certificate. Basically what that means is, that lock that you see up here, that basically just means it's encrypted. It's SSL. SSL, yeah. And then basically whenever you have that encryption, everything that's being sent to that server will be encrypted and will not be able to be read. So it's really important that all the websites you go to should have this lock if possible, so nobody can snoop on your data. And basically what we're going to be doing here is making sure that they have a certificate that lets you say, hey, this is secured, right? So that's pretty cool. Actually, I just click on here. Yeah, so you can see connection is secure right here. So let's keep seeing what's happening. It's still loading. Hopefully everything's going to go well. Fingers crossed. But you can see like how simple this can be, right? Again, all I have to do is just press a few things to make sure everything's okay. So this is for the certification. So I believe what we should use here is admin. So admin at cox3.com. I would use that as our certificate. And then from there, we can keep going. It's going to keep loading. So congratulations. It's been done. Amazing. And then what we can do here is we can just go online and see what happens. So this is optional. We're going to set this up later. But what I want to do is I want to just use the Jitsi now, and I want to see what happens. So I'm going to type meet.x3.family. Let's see what happens. It's redirecting us too many times. That's fair. Let's see what happens. I'm also guessing that I probably shouldn't proxy this. So let me just take this off for a second. Let's see what happens. So meet.x3.family. Hopefully it works. Hopefully. I can also delete all the cookies just to be sure, or refresh the cache, because it may or may not fully work because I have accessed this site before and then they're like, looks like you've been here before. So let's see what we can do if we just type in the I don't think we need HTTPS. Let's see. Crossing our fingers. Okay, so it does work when I go directly into here. So basically that means that we just need some time for this to propagate, and I believe it'll work. Or what I can do is I can add the HTTPS just to make sure that I can force it into the secure protocol. Yeah, the certificate is not valid because we have to go through the website. Okay, but at least we now know that it does work, and what we can do is customize it in a sec. But I just want to make sure it works by going into here. So let me try also another browser just in case it's a browser issue. So in a second, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So meet.x3.family. Okay, I'm also getting the same issue on the other browsers. So that's good. So I'm going to show you exactly how I actually go about to do troubleshooting now, right? So basically what I'm seeing is that it's redirected us too many times. So we're going to search the meet so we can see what happens. Let's see, error too many attempts, the domains. And then we can see here. Let's see what's going on. People are saying that this information, no, this isn't the right thing. Let's see this one. Okay, it's Cloudflare issue. I need to go to full strict. So let's try that. This is interesting. So apparently it's an issue in Cloudflare. So let's go ahead and go to my, where did they say it was? It's under overview. So SSL overview. Okay, let's do full strict. Let's see what happens. And then I'm going to refresh this. It shouldn't be so fast. Oh wow, it was immediate. Awesome, so it works. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so let's put testing. Let's put testing, you know, new meeting. And we're just gonna start the meeting here. I'm going to block camera, I think. Otherwise it'll, okay, actually, yeah, let's allow it for now. And then my camera will become monochrome for a second. Whoops. Let me just redo this. Perfect. So it looks like it works. And then if you guys do want to try, you guys can just jump into this meeting right here. So meet.x3.family/testing new meeting if you want to try that. So let me go ahead and paste that here. If you want to try, I'll paste it into here now. So Jackie, if you want to just jump on it and you don't have to turn on your camera, you can just see if it works or not. I think it will. I just want to make sure you can hear me. But that's super cool. Wow, that's super sleek. That's really fast as well. And I believe all the features are here. So let's go ahead and just make sure that we can do the other things, which is we want to check off, we created a droplet, we added a domain, we ran installation script, we tested it. Now we want to customize our settings. So the first thing we want to do is we probably do want to add a password to control who can create meetings so that not everyone just comes in and just creates meetings randomly, right? So what we want to do about that is we want to go ahead and run these things that they're sharing. So let's do that. So what we want to do, we can add nano. Okay, so we want to run this thing first. Okay, so be very careful. Copy that and that only. Paste that. And it's already not there. Okay, so we need to change the URL here. This is wrong. So we need to exit here. So exit that. So we don't just paste it without reading. We want to paste this properly. So Jitsi example.com. I believe we just need to take away until the cfg.lua. I'm not completely certain what cfg.lua is, but that's fine. I'm just showing you from a beginner's perspective how this would look like. So let's go ahead and do this again, but I'm going to instead type in the meet.x3.family/.cfg.lua. Perfect. So we got it from here. And then what we want to look for is a virtual host, and below that we have something. So virtual host, perfect. Authentication needs to be internal plane. So we need to change this to be internal, oops, cancel. Yeah, internal plane. Internal and then underscore plane. So authentication is internal plane, and then I believe that's it. And then we can save. So exit, yes. We can save it again to the same thing. So internal underscore plane. And then we just enter that, perfect. And then we can set one or more Jitsi users. So let's go ahead and run this. And again, don't just run this. We want to change this. So register the user. So this is again meet.x3.family. And then what we want to do is give it a password. Oh, the user is, we also want to change that. So probably want to call this co-x3 mod. So x3 mod. And then we have some spacing there. Yep. And then x3 mod. And then what we want to do is a password for that. I'm probably going to give a secret password, so give me a quick second. I'm going to put this on my side and then put a password in. So let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and put that password in. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of a good password to put in here. That would be like something that people can remember as well. Let's see. Okay, let's do that. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can share on stream again. So I'm going to close this server. Let's close this server. Yeah, I'm going to close the server and then run it again. And then we have everything. Okay, so I'm going to close the server. Let's close it like this. Close the session. And then I'm going to open Putty again one more time. And then now I'm going to go directly into meet.x3.family. Let's open that. And then here we're going to do the same steps we did earlier. So we're going to log in as root now. And then the password again is what we had initially put in. And then what we want to do now is we want to run the rest of this stuff because we already registered a user. So what we want to do is we want to go back to the edit. So what we want to do is go back to this. So this nano. And then what we want to do is to replace the Digitalocean stuff with our own meeting app. So we have meet.x3.family, and family has one M. Perfect. And then from here we have internal plane, but we also at the end of the file want to paste some lines. So let's go ahead and go to the bottom. We want to edit this, and then we can paste it at the bottom. So apparently this will make it so that anybody can join the video conference without the user and password, right? And this becomes very easy for everyone to come in. Again, we have to change this because I think we have to keep guest though. I think we have to keep guest. Let's see, we have to keep guest. Yeah. So guest dot x3 dot family. So x3 dot meet dot x3 dot family. So guest.meets.x3.family, if they're anonymous, then they don't need encryption, right? So, or don't need to sign in. So guest.meet.x3.family. We're going to exit this and we're going to save, yes. And now what we're going to have to change is we want to change another one, which is nano the config. So again, nano, and we paste this, and then the .com. Again, you can see that the process is just simply looking at lines of code and making sure that you are typing in the same things, because a lot of smart people have already done a lot of work here to make sure everything works. Okay, so now we want to go to anonymous domain and uncomment something. Where's anonymous domain? Let's see, anonymous domain. Let's see where that is. Hope it's not so far down, because we have to go all the way back up if it's not this far down. I wish I can just Control F and find something. Can I just find something? Where is? I could do that probably. Okay, let's try. I'm curious. Where is search anonymous domain? Then go to line. There you go. We found it. Okay, so anonymous domain. We're going to take this out, and then anonymous domain needs to be guest.meets.x3.family. Meets.x3.family. Okay, let's see. So guest.meet.x3.family. We're going to save that. Press yes. Save. And then we can go to... And then we can edit one more thing. Oh my gosh, there's one more thing to edit. This one should be easy. Nano, just paste this. We don't have to add meet or whatever. Oh, elevate the terminal. Of course. Thank you for letting me know that. Here we go. We can go ahead and do this. Sorry, that's also really small. I'm not exactly trying to open it and make it bigger as well. So let me go ahead and, by the way, is this working? This is working still. Perfect. So I'm going to actually close this now for now because I'm running this. And then what we want to do here is we want to follow that instruction. So let's go ahead and make sure that, yeah, so edit Jitsi conf. Okay. So I'm just going to paste that and let's see. And then what I want to do is, maybe I'll move it right here so I can see this as well. Okay, so Jitsi on switch to a configuration like this. What does this mean? Did they lose something here? I'm very curious. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here because, oops, I accidentally made it too big. But I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Edit by switching a configuration like this. Does that mean I'm commenting everything out? What's your take on it, Jackie? I'm curious to see what your take is. Because maybe I should look at the documentation as well. Okay, gconfo. Cofo. Let's see. Yes, I don't understand what this step is. So let's go ahead and copy this. Oops. I want to just find this. It's not there. So where did they find this information? Gconfo. I'm gonna Google this. Let's see what happens. That might not matter, but I'm very curious why it's being shared to me. So let me just give me a second to think. Again, I want to show you the thought process behind this as well. So let's see. Let's see. Um, yeah. I'm thinking that I need to search it a bit more, so I'm curious if there is more instructions like this. Jitsi setup. So let's see. Yeah, I can show the terminal again. The issue I think right now is I'm not certain what they want us to do in here, unless it's just removing out all of the information. My guess is that they left a bit out of there. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. I will search it on the side browser while you guys are looking into that. I'm curious. So let's see. So let's see. gcofo.conf ocean instructions. Okay, I found actually a answer on this. That's so interesting. Okay, let me show you guys what I found because I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so what I found, I'm gonna share it here. Oops, I'm going to just paste it into here so you guys can see it. What I found was that apparently it's an incomplete instruction. It's incomplete statement. What does work here is doing this. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to find this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to just follow this instructions and then we'll see what happens, shall we? So we're going to do sudo nano this first. So let's go ahead and do this. Again, I'm going to drag this up because nobody can see this. Oops. What am I doing? I accidentally closed this everything. Sorry about that. So here we go. There's this. And then what we want to do is we want to drag this up slowly. So you guys can see it and it's not blocking. But apparently what we want to do is just run this communicator properties. This is a new file. And then what we want to do is to add a new line, simply like this. And then we paste this, and then we just type in our line, which is meet.x3.family. And then maybe that'll work. So save, yes. Okay, and then from here, I'm just going to move this over so I have some documentation that this is the step I followed. I'm going to restart my services. So I'm going to go ahead, paste this, restart everything. Let's see what happens. So ideally, what happens now is I can join in the meetings. I need to be an administrator to start the meeting. And then when someone else joins, they can join without having to need a password unless I add in a password in the browser. So let's go ahead and try that out. So we're going to go to meet.x3.family as before. So meet.x3.family. And then we are here. We're going to say new meeting. Yay. Allow. Oh, again, it's going to... perfect. I need to be the host now. So let's go ahead and say I am the host. I did x3 mod. And then what we did was... Oh my gosh, I forgot the password already. I just added the password and I forgot it. Wait, let me give you a second. Let me think about it. Oops. I think it's mods. Ah, there you go. Okay. I forgot the password like immediately after. All right. Let's see how this works. And I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget that. Ooh, this may have a bug. So it might be because of what we just did earlier. I am curious. Again, not having the authentication isn't a big deal, but I just want to show you that like you can add this information. And of course, if we decide to add in other customization options, I want to show you how that works as well. But oh no. Okay, let me just try a few other things. So what happens if I press cancel? Okay, so it kicks me out. That makes sense. I go in. And then I'm going to do, let's see, extreme mod. Oop. Okay, let's Google this as well. So obtaining session ID Jitsi authentication. I should also check the console, I think. Let's see what the console is saying. Authentication is required. All right. That makes sense to me. That's the authentication I just gave. So let's see. I think what we want to do is take a look at a few more information here. Okay, there's a bug previously. And then what we want to do, let's see if there's any issues here. No, this looks okay. Let's see what we can do. I want to find the error codes here. Yeah, it happens like this, but this is part of the fun. So conference failed, conference authentication required. Conference authentication required. Let's see. I want to get something that's as late as possible. November is closer. Yeah, this is more closer. Okay, we did virtual host. We've already done that. So let's compare the instructions. XMPP, right? So let's see what we did here. XMPP, yeah, we did the same thing. Okay, so let's double check. So we did a virtual hosting, right? Authentication anonymous. So we have this as a line. Authentication internal plane, yep, that's good. SIP communicator properties, this is what we just did. And then we added this information. We can double check that if we want, but it looks like we did. So we went to and said, yeah, org.jitsi.jco gconfol.auth.url xmpp. I don't think it's because I have a space there, but I can double check if there's a space there. Yeah, anonymous domain. Did we do that? I'm pretty sure we did the anonymous domain. Okay, so let's try this again. I want to just test this. Obviously, we can restart it as well, but we should be able to check this. So just in case, we can remove the spacing. Again, I don't think that's the answer. That's the problem, but we can try it out. org.jitsi.gconfo.auth.url equals xmpp meet.x3.family. That looks about right. So we're going to save that. Yes. And then we're going to go through all the other ones just to make sure they were right. So this, again, we're not going to do anything here. So we're going to just exit this. And then the last thing we're going to check is config anonymous domain guest.meet.x3.family. So anonymous domain guest.meet. Oh, it's right here at the top. And then we want to make sure that virtual host guest is the same thing. So we wanted to go to .lua. So let's go ahead and .lua. So we're going to go down here and we're going to make sure that that information is not too wrong. Yeah, so we put this at the bottom. Yeah. That looks about right. Guest.meet.x3.family anonymous. Okay, so that looks like it should work. And again, I've already done the register, otherwise it wouldn't even have worked because it wasn't going to work there. Let's do a restart again and let's see what happens. Yeah, very interesting. Again, this is the stuff that you learn, right? So let's figure this out. Oops, this is saying that I still have issues. You know, join this launching web. I'm going to say I'm the host, x3 mod, and then oh, there, it worked. I have no idea what changed, guys. I have zero idea what changed. I think it was just the spacing there, but oh my gosh, that's so interesting. All right, so now we know. So now, ideally, if I go to a new incognito browser, right, and then I'm just going to go into here, and then I can go ahead and throw this in. Let's see what happens. We're going to just allow all this stuff for now. And then we can see there's two people and then we can talk to each other. That's amazing. So that's like a bit of what I want to show you guys. Again, it's super easy. We did it under 1 hour. The remaining things to do would just be to change the look and feel of this. Again, just to show you how that might look. Basically, look and feel of this would, I can change the wordings here. I can change the look in the back. I can change everything. So it's very, very easy. And let me see if I can just show you that really quickly. I am curious if I can just show you that quickly. That was an optional thing I wanted to show you, but let's go in. I did open up one of the information on how to do it. So here, yeah, so the logo and everything. So how you would do that, you want to use an app called WinSCP. And WinSCP, if I can just close this for a second and drag it over here. WinSCP basically gives you a opportunity to access files on any of your servers. So again, the server that we just set up, we can actually go and access the file. So I believe we can go a new session. And again, here we can meet.x3.family. And then the protocol should be correct. I can add in the username and password right now. So let's add in root. And let's just log in for a second. Yes. Ask for a password. I'm going to type that in secretly. So let's go ahead and find my information here. Where is it? Where is it? I am missing one of my pages. It's fine. Let's go ahead and go to my Digitalocean, and then we're going to grab that. I just want to show you quickly. I'm not going to go through the whole step here, but I just want to show you how you would do it if you were to log in. Okay, so I'm here now and I can see everything in here. So basically what I have to do is I have to go into my etc file, and then, okay, the logo is in the user file, right? So yeah, let's just show you what that is. So I believe it's in the snap. Let's see, common. I think we gotta figure out where this goes to. Current. There, okay, we were in the wrong place. Okay, user file, share. So the logo is inside meet here, and then images, Jitsi meet, and then images. Yeah, so the image is inside here. So all you have to do is just change like the watermark.svg, change these things, but it's super, super simple to just change everything. And again, there's a really cool guide that you can follow that allows you to customize things without having to without having them rewritten upon an upgrade. So I think that's actually pretty cool. But definitely, I hope you guys had a good time watching me go through this step. Again, my intentions for this was to show you exactly how I go about investigating different ways of doing something, in this case installing Jitsi, which is this video conferencing app. Again, like you saw, things are really easy nowadays. You just set up a server and then you do the installation, and then again, you can tell from my vocabulary, I'm nowhere near an expert, right, behind web networking and all those things, but hopefully you can see that this is something that even you can pick up really easily, and all you have to do is read little instructions and then piece together the picture. Anyways, if you're in the community, you can look forward to a whole new Jitsi experience when we start our meeting on this Sunday during our Sunday Council meeting. But aside from that, everybody, please have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy it. And if you want to try this out, definitely do. I have a link for you to try out in the description, right? There's all the instructions that's going to be posted there. I'm going to make a little tutorial guide as well if you want to follow that. And then, yeah, good luck. Have fun. Please take care now. Bye bye.